Hello, Randonauts. So literally on the day that I was filming my last Randonautica experience on the tragic death of Aisling Murphy, I found out about this crazy situation in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Why I can't say Bridgeport, I don't know. I'm just like my best friend Bailey Sarian. I have trouble saying words. So in December, the beautiful 23-year-old Lauren Smith-Fields was found dead in her apartment. And it is always odd for an otherwise healthy 23-year-old woman to just randomly die in her sleep. But what also makes the situation complicated is a man she had just met, a 37-year-old man named Matthew LaFountain, had spent the night with her. And when he found her dead the next morning, he obviously did the right thing in calling the police. But then what the police of beautiful Bridgeport did was nothing. They just did nothing. They didn't even inform her family that she was dead. That family found out she was dead because they went to her apartment 2 days later to check on her because they hadn't heard from her. And there was a note from the landlord on the door. And they go in and there's like used condom, there's like a weird unknown pill, there's all kinds of evidence, there's blood on the sheets that had like, I think, come out of her mouth, unfortunately. It was like everything was just there, as if like the police didn't look into it, they didn't touch any evidence, they didn't get any evidence. I mean, like they just left everything there. They just trusted that this guy, this Matt guy, you know, he seemed really nervous. He seemed really nice. Like kind of, I'm imagining maybe he was like a nice, nerdy, seemingly harmless guy who was obviously shaken up according to, you know, what they say when they called the police because they found her dead. But this is, again, to use the words of the great Bailey Sarian, this is suspicious. Peak suspicious. There was no investigation really done at all into the death of this woman. And when I heard about this, I obviously had to talk about it because, as I mentioned in the last video, that often we get a lot of attention for the Gabby Petito's, Aisling Murphy, the beautiful white woman who get murdered, but it is so often the case that Black women, they don't get the same kind of attention when they are found dead. Can you imagine if it had been a 23-year-old white woman who was found dead and it was a white family that wasn't informed of their daughter's death? It just wouldn't have happened. It would have been dealt with so much differently. And it's not to say that this Matt LaFountain guy, that he definitely killed her or he definitely did something, because again, we don't know. But you have to go through the process. Like to just say like, oh yeah, he seemed like a nice guy and just leave it at that and just assume he had nothing to do with her death is not really how law enforcement's supposed to work. It's not how like the court system's supposed to work. And the fact that it happened in this particular case is just, it's really highlighting the huge holes in our justice system. At the time of me filming this video, the autopsy report has been released, and I just want to read that they concluded that she died of an acute intoxication due to the combined effects of fentanyl. I'm going to say this wrong, but it's promethazine, hydroxine, and alcohol. And I looked up what promethazine and hydroxine are. They are both antihistamines, forms of antihistamines that are going to be a downer. Like they're going to like bring you down. Fentanyl, as most of us know, is like a super deadly drug. And then obviously alcohol. So the death was ruled an accident. But because fentanyl was present, the Bridgeport Police Department opened a criminal investigations in the narcotics department. So still, there's like this assumption, and I don't know, but it seems like they're just assuming that because she was Black, she just voluntarily took a bunch of drugs and died by her own like accidental overdose or something. Again, if she was white, this would be going differently. So I just knew I had to talk about it. I'm obviously kind of fired up about it. And so now we are going to be doing some Randonautica intentions to see if we can get some insights from this other realm, this esoteric thing that I do, to see if we can get some insight onto maybe what was really going on. And for those of you who don't really know me yet, maybe you just stumbled across this video for the first time and you've just found yourself on my weird but very awesome corner of the internet, Randonautica is an app that will lead you to different locations in your vicinity based on an intention that you have. So I have started to use the app to help me solve mysteries that I want more information on. And often those mysteries involve a death or a crime, but sometimes I'll do experiences on other stuff. But today, obviously, I have some intentions around Lauren's death, and I'm going to show you the app. This is what it looks like when you first pull it up. I am doing this in Boulder, Colorado. I'm nowhere near Bridgeport, Connecticut, but because this isn't dependent on, like, this is giving us signs and symbols and insights based on that. So it doesn't matter that I'm not near Connecticut. It's a little more etheric and spiritual than that. My first just desperate intention is to know what really happened to Lauren that night. How did she really die? And with this app, sometimes if you have an intention that's a little, like there's a lot of questions in one intention, it can give you kind of vague results. So I'm going to really be specific here. I'm going to get real specific and ask, was this Matt LaFountain guy, was he at all directly involved in Lauren's death? That is my first question and intention. So again, here's my radius. There will be a point generated somewhere in this wide area. Let's see what happens. Was Matt LaFountain directly involved in Lauren Smith-Fields' death? Was Matt LaFountain? Oh. Ooh, we have a point. Sometimes when I get a point, I'm just like scared. I don't know why. And it looks like it's in a really urban spot, which can be annoying because, you know, it might be like not, I don't know. We'll see. I always try to do this where I make an assumption before I even go there. Let's not do that. But let's start driving and see what we find over here. So before I'm leaving, I just decided to look at the street view of this point. So the point is right here. Look how weird this is. So I don't know if it's still a music instructional place where we're going, but how weird in the street view, there's a lady just sitting in the grass. Like this isn't even near a bus stop. Like I know enough about where this is that it's just kind of odd that the point I'm led to is where on the Google map, there's just a lady in the grass. Don't know what that means yet, but let's drive over there, see what it looks like today and what info we might get. Also, as I'm driving away, I decided to start this experience by the really, really old cemetery in Boulder. It is one where there's a lot of people buried from like the turn of the century, like the 20th century. And I have no idea why, but I just felt this powerful urge to start from here. And I found in doing this long enough that sometimes the area where you start has something to do with the whole thing. And again, I don't know what yet, but more will be revealed. We also happen to be in what we call the Hill area in Boulder. It's where a lot of the students live, a lot of student housing, but it's also just an old part of Boulder where there's a lot of old homes and just a lot of Boulder history. It's very beautiful. It's right along the foothills and also pretty close to Pearl Street Mall area where we are coming up to. I say all this because I know a lot of you guys really like the tours of Colorado that I kind of give you on accident by doing this. It's not my intention to do that, but it's just sort of one of those weird things that is kind of pleasant, I guess, for some people. Oh shoot, I'm just turn right here, so let's do that. In front of us is the St. Julian Hotel. Aren't I a good tour guide? We're now coming down Canyon. It's so interesting that this point is in such an urban area, and so it's making me drive kind of through the most urban, kind of central Boulder areas. On the left, that white building, that's an apartment I used to live in when I was in college. Fun facts about the life of Genevieve. But I'm kind of not used to this. A lot of my Randonauticas recently have been more out in nature, and the points that I've been led to have been kind of in the middle of nowhere, and I haven't gotten a point like this in a while where it's kind of urban. I don't know enough about Lauren or her situation yet to know what that means. I get the sense that Bridgeport, well, one, I get the sense that it's a little bit, oh my gosh, I just stopped filming so fast. because I realized that I was filming a cop. There was a cop right in front of me and I was filming him or her, and I don't want to get pulled over for doing that. So I just quickly stopped my camera. But anyway, we're back on track. I don't even know what I was saying. Oh, I was judging Bridgeport, and I guess maybe that was a sign from God that I should just stop being judgy. So we're getting close. As you can see on the right, a lot of new construction is happening in Boulder, which I hate. It is just, I'm becoming that like crotchety old Boulder person that doesn't like all of the change. We got another cop. There's so many cops out today. What is going on? Do not like it, but we're almost at the point where I'm going to turn. My plan is to turn to the parking lot before the actual point, so we'll see how that goes, but it's just, okay, so at this light, we're turning right. Check for bikers, always necessary in Boulder. Don't want to just be stopped here. Okay, good, we're going, we've got a green arrow. Here we go, here we go. Okay, so, right where that white truck is, that's where we're going. Okay, I didn't turn into the right place because the truck totally threw me off, and now I'm gone too far. I gotta do a huge freaking turnaround to get back. But so weird. Shoot, is he still there? He's not. But in the spot where the I just showed you on the street view where there was a lady, there was a guy standing there now in an, oh, he's walking down the sidewalk now. Do you see him? He's like a construction guy in an orange vest. Shoot. You can't really see him. But he was in the exact same spot. What are the odds that because I don't usually look at the street view when I do this, but I just had the urge to, so I did notice the lady, and then that this guy's in the exact same spot. I don't know why, but that feels like there's something going on there. What, I don't know. I feel a little bit schizophrenic about this right now, but I'm gonna get back on the road and turn around because I can't park here because it's, yeah, I can't. So let's figure this out, and then we're gonna get out and look around. Oh, there's the guy. Oh, do you see him? There, that was the guy that was standing there. I don't know anything about this guy, but just why would he be standing in the exact same spot? That is our point. Our point is like right there. I don't know. So I've completed my crazy journey to get back to this point, and it is still, it looks like a music lesson place. Interesting. Why it's extremely bright in here, I don't know. But I'm about to get out of the car. I don't know anything about this Matt LaFountain guy. I'm sure he's losing his ever-loving stuff right now because he's getting all this attention in such a negative way. And I'm so sorry that I'm like washed out. But maybe he was a teacher, music teacher. I don't know. I feel like this is one of those moments at this point where you guys are going to give me more information that I know off the top of my head about the situation. But yeah, let's just get out and go over there, especially since it's so dang bright right here. Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious. So the point, I really hate filming in public. That's why I'm whispering like it's an ASMR video. But the point really is this building, this part of it, it's in kind of an industrial, what do you call this? Strip mall, I guess? Industrial seeming strip mall. And then the point was here. This is where, when I first drove by, I saw the dude standing like right there in front of, like that green thing right there is where the lady was sitting in the picture, and where I also saw the guy. And I don't know what to make of this. But let's walk over here and see if there's any like hidden whatevers anywhere. It's obviously like a really heavily trafficked little area. You can kind of see in the window of the music place like regular things. I don't see anything. Oh, there's me. Hi. I don't see anything weird. Anything on here? This is the thing the lady was sitting on. No, it's just an old thing. This is baffling to me. I am baffled. I have no idea what is going on, and I don't like it when things aren't obvious to me, but I really have the sense that someone watching this is gonna get something out of this. What is this? That is a used water bottle, some trash. I don't understand. I've said this before in videos where loud engines ruin my shots, but I don't understand why. It's always men that feel the need to make these like loud engine noises, and I think it's just insanely unattractive. Like it's just screaming small penis. All right, anything in there? Nope, a lot of trash, a lot of trash. Maybe it's representing all the trash or like the used stuff that was found, you know, the evidence that was found and never was really taken seriously by the police. Oh my gosh, that could actually be a thing. Let's get in the car and talk about it because it's too loud out here. Okay, suddenly when I saw the used, you know, the trash and stuff, that clicked for me that maybe there really is some evidence, something that the police, like I said, didn't take seriously in, you know, the stuff that was found, you know, around her body. That's where my mind is going. I don't know. I also feel like there's got to be something else about this music store. Something is tied into that. Also, this is in such a busy area of Boulder, and as you saw, I don't like filming when there's so much going on around me. There's nothing that will make you feel so self-conscious as sticking your camera in bushes when there's like all these people around. But this is one of those points where I'm so curious what you guys think. I feel like there's something in this point that is saying there's more here. Like there's something that's like a little bit hidden from view from us, but there's something going, because remember, my direct intention was if Matt LaFountain had anything to do in directly causing Lauren's death, and we're led here. So what does it mean? I don't know. Yeah, but it's time for us to do another intention. So we have reset everything. I am now in the middle of a new radius. You can see I'm really in central Boulder, so a lot of interesting areas of Boulder we could potentially be led to now. And my next intention, because I always like to do this intention to give myself and other people some sense of closure, is to get some sort of message from Lauren Smith-Fields. And I'm extra curious to get a message from her because there is so much that she could tell us. Like, she could obviously tell us something about, you know, her state of being now, being passed over, but she could also maybe even give us more clues as to what was going on. So there's a lot that we could end up finding out in whatever Lauren might be hopefully willing to share with us. I told you guys this was esoteric. Okay, so all right, gonna meld that intention on in here. A message from Lauren Smith-Fields. A message from Lauren Smith-Fields. Interesting. I don't yet know which lake this is, but it looks like a potentially beautiful place and obviously accessible. I mean, the point itself you can see is kind of in the water, but it's close enough to the shore that I'm sure that there's something around there that it's public. It looks very public and that we can see. So I'm super curious what this was or what it is. So let's drive on over there. Oh, it's taking us to Wonderland Lake. Very interesting, and also not close to here. Whenever I get a point that is far from where I am, it feels like, okay, you needed it to be that specific, that you need to take me all the way over here. So, again, very curious what we're gonna find.
Turn left.
All right. So this is a totally different vibe. I can just tell you right now at this point, Wonderland Lake is an area that I love, actually. It's a really great place to walk, jog, you know, I take my dog there sometimes. And it's very beautiful. It is not a super big lake, but it is also very popular. And it's just, yeah, a totally different vibe than this first point, which definitely had kind of a weird vibe. It was busy. It felt like a lot of traffic going through. I wonder if that's also symbolic of how much traffic went into Lauren's apartment and didn't like respect the the nature of investigating, if that makes sense. Like it's kind of like an area that was not respected in the way it needed to be. Like that random spot felt like just a very heavily trafficked, just like nobody gave any F's about that spot. Like it just felt like a I don't know, like a weird spot. So this is a different spot. So I am encouraged. We've asked for a message from Lauren, and like I always say, I don't want to make any assumptions yet as to exactly what we might find, but I feel a little more hopeful about this. I feel like she's a really powerful spirit. That's just like my intuitive hit, and I feel like if she's given us a message, it's gonna be good. So we're getting a little bit closer now. As you can see, we have come back west. We're right at the foothills of the mountain again, although we are farther north than we were at the beginning of this adventure when we were on the hill at that old cemetery. And yeah, it's I kind of don't know what to say yet. I feel really contemplative now. Like, I know I say and like a lot, and it annoys me too. I'm sorry, but when I'm thinking and driving at the same time, and I'm just in the midst of all this, I can't control it. But yeah, I'm feeling more contemplative. I'm feeling, yeah, just really excited and curious to see what we might find over there. We have arrived, and I try to park us in the neighborhood as close to the point as possible, but it is going to involve some walking, which I'm actually kind of glad for. We can, because as I've said also in many of my adventures, sometimes it's the journey on the way there that something pops out, something happens, and yeah, so let's get out and see what there is to see from Lauren. So we're walking. You can see down there the frozen lake. This is one of those lakes that's surrounded by, obviously, the Wonderland Lake neighborhood. Is there a bike behind me? No, okay. And it is kind of fancy, but really nice. All right, we're actually closer to the point than I realized. Okay, not gonna die on the slushy, icy stuff. Pretty sure we're not. Be kind of good footage though if I did. So the point, oh, fascinating. I'll pull out my phone in just a second, but first of all, weird, there's so many steps on the ice out there, and there's even like weird tracks, like maybe someone was, oh, I'm sorry about the wind, but like maybe someone was skiing, like doing that weird cross-country ski thing, like they were attempting that out there on the ice. And it happens to be like right kind of where, because the point I think is like right close to shore right here. So interesting. I am not one of those people that walks on ice, so I'm certainly not going to do that. But let's walk. Whoa, it's windy. Let's walk a little bit forward and see how close we actually are to the point. All right, there's our little blue dot. It's a little bit off from where I actually am. I'm on the path, so we're a little bit, oh, look, kind of right where the point is, there's this wooden thing. I don't know what that is, but okay, actually, okay. Well, the whole area around the point, as you know, is important, but it looks like now it's thinking we're right, point is right here, right here. So I'm just kind of pausing and having a moment of reflection. The point is right behind me, right there. And it is super, super beautiful out. The wind, you know, is annoying, but there's something about this point that I just feel really meditative and calm, like really just at peace with things. And I really hope that that's accurate to the message that Lauren wants to give us. Yeah. It is so windy. I don't know if that's a part of what the message is because it was not windy in the other places of Boulder, but at the foothills, obviously it's very windy. I'm very interested in why the point would be right where all the footsteps are. Maybe it's a sign of like crossing over, like people have obviously crossed over the lake here. Maybe it's symbolism for that. I'm not sure, but I in general feel really good about this. I don't feel like a ton of like exuberant joy or anything, but I just feel like this deep, calm, accepting feeling, like acceptance. That's kind of the word that's really standing out to me. So let's go back to the car. Colorado is so interesting. So we're supposed to get a really big snowstorm tomorrow. And what can happen before a snowstorm is we'll get like a weird warm front mixed with a ton of wind. That's actually what happened the day of the really big fire, because it was right before a big snowstorm, and the day of the fire was extremely windy, like windier than I'd ever seen, but also weirdly a little bit warm. So anyway, that's my weather report for this Randonautica. Whew, now I've got this beautiful wind-blown look. So I have a lot of mixed feelings about our findings today. I feel like this is one of those mysteries, one of those tragic cases where I could do a million freaking intentions and still never be satisfied. So at this point, all any of us can do is wait, see what unfolds with the Bridgeport police investigation. I did read today, like just today, a few hours ago, that I think like the sergeant or whoever was in charge of the case initially has retired. And I think 2 other officers were like suspended briefly or something. I don't know. And I can only hope that this just changes things on the law enforcement level, and then also just in the way that we regard these deaths, like not to take things for granted that just because he's a nice guy, and again, maybe he really is a nice guy and he was just happened to be there, not involved, just happened to be there, not involved. But you have to give everything due process, and that is what I'm hoping comes out of this case. That's why I'm so glad this case is actually getting a ton of attention, as it should. In our spiritual adventure today, it gave me some insight, I guess, especially about Lauren. And I know this about all people that pass over, just from my intuitive healing work that I do professionally, that they really are at peace. Like they're almost more alive than we are on this plane. And I feel like this message, it was confirmation of that she is okay. She's crossed over. But we still need to change some things here on this plane, in this weird, dense 3D existence. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm sorry the lighting is really weird at this stage of the afternoon and where I'm parked. I have a Patreon if you would like to do work with me. It's based kind of more on my healing work. I have a whole other channel about intuitive healing and receiving energy healings from me through videos. You can do that in my other channel. There's Ko-Fi, there's Instagram. You can connect with me lots of ways. So I look forward to doing that with you, doing some more adventures. And please let me know what you think about this situation, the things we found today. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. I will see you in my next video.